let's go. The story of somebody's life, journey, a moment in time, or it could mean nothing without a husband and a housewife.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of A Husband and a Housewife. Presented by me and my lovely assistant, Debbie McGee.
I'm not your assistant. I've never been anyone's assistant.
Nicole, you've always been my assistant. And the lovely Nicole Sealey from the Real Housewives of Cheshire, my wife, my best friend and my worst enemy, all in one person.
And he thinks on occasion he's PA, which I'm not.
My beautiful assistant today. So she's my co-presenter and we're going to start, this is our first episode of our new podcast, which is going to happen weekly. And it's going to be a mix of us, our friends, celebrities, advice.
Just don't take any advice
bullshit,
from Joe.
The bullshit I speak and the seriousness that Nicole operates in. A lot of people have a lot of questions for us today, and I think we'll start with a little bit about ourselves. So most people want to know about Nicole, so I will start first.
Shock.
No. Nicole, you go first. Go on.
Oh, I feel like I've been put on the spot now.
Well, you don't know about yourself?
No, I'm still learning. I'm a work in progress.
I've been waiting. Well, it was our anniversary yesterday. I've been waiting 12 years for this working process to improve.
How rude. Well, I think, if you watch the show, you probably know a little bit more about me now than probably you previously would have done. I think previously quite a private person. So, obviously doing something out of my comfort zone at the moment. But obviously, I've got my own business. So contrary to Joe's belief, I am not his PA, as I've said, and I actually do have a job of my own. We've obviously got the gyms that we obviously have together. I don't really do the day-to-day running, that's Joe.
What is your business?
What is my business? Yeah, so I have a railway and construction company, 26 years this year. I've been yeah, I know, my anniversary and it's longer standing than you. But yeah, I think it's obviously I've been in my industry a long time and not dissimilar. I think that's another thing that we have in common. Obviously Joe from the football background, it's not dissimilar to the industry that I'm in, very male dominated. And I also like many boy hobbies. So I think secretly I am maybe a boy.
What's your boy hobby? Watching porn?
I'm not sharing that with the group. I love cards. I love
birthday cards.
No, playing cards. So I love a bit of Vegas. Like boxing. I've got to stop saying do apologise. I did it again. And I like, what else do I like, Joe?
Well, you like football. And this is the reason, in the car, we had a little bit of an argument because I said, you ain't prepared, right? I said, I am prepared, you're not. And I said, you're going to start saying,
I am.
And now it's been proven that I was right. I knew I was right. And once again, I'm correct and you're wrong.
Well, to be fair,
we're going to find out a lot about that in this podcast. I'm usually right.
Even the children do say that even when you're wrong, you think you're right. And you may as well just all not say anything because you'll just insist, even if you've Googled it, which you quite often do, and it's the most irritating thing. You'll sit there and all of us are telling you, that's not right, but you won't take it. You'll be there on your phone and you have to Google
Nicole, let me stop you there. This is meant to be about you. Is that you finished, is it?
Is that all about me? What else is there to say about me?
You're 46.
I am.
You've got 3 kids.
I have, yeah. Well, they're adults now.
Yeah, they're adults, yeah.
Soon to be. The oldest one's just bought her first house. So
whoop, whoop. One down.
So she'll be leaving. The middle one's going back to university, whoop, whoop. Going back to London. And then the youngest one, potentially, is looking for a new football club. So if he's lucky enough to get one, he could too be gone.
I'm thinking about trying to get him a move to Iceland, to be honest.
And then it would just be us and our babies.
Then what we can do, the babies are the 2 dogs. And then what I could do is move and not tell the kids.
Yeah. Or what did we say? What can we do with all their bedrooms?
Activity rooms.
Yeah. we can have like a pool table in one.
Yeah.
We can have a card table in the other. What else?
I don't know. We've got quite a nice house, so we've got quite a lot going on there. I was going to say cinema room, but we're quite lucky, aren't we? So
yeah, we're going to be like born again teenagers when they move out.
We might move. I don't know. It's
potentially.
One of those things. I think it's a bit of a funny thing when they're all growing up and
moving
away and getting on with their lives, and they don't need you as much, except for when they ring up and say, "Can I have some money?"
Well, yeah. But also, I think being in lockdown, we have had the chance to obviously spend more time than we'd like. No, it has been nice because everyone's been back at home. So even, although that's wearing off a bit now, but certainly in the first weeks, we were all making sure we ate together, which we haven't done for years because everybody kind of comes and goes, don't they? Eats at different times. And I am busy. I've been at home a lot more than I usually would be, and I know I did then, and I can see the eyes looking at me.
You're busy. You're double busy.
No, that's you.
No, you're double busy.
And let's be honest, you're the biggest gossip ever.
I like. Am I?
You are. You literally are like an old lady gossiping over the garden fence.
I do like talking. I do.
You and your friends, Joey, I'll often walk into the coffee shop and you'll be gossiping.
I've missed that the most, Before lockdown, I would often, I say often, maybe 3 times a day, meet different people for a coffee and just
a gossip,
just to chat. And some of them people are going to come on this podcast actually, so it'd be quite interesting to know what they've got to say because they know everything about me and you, which you probably don't like.
Listen, they only know these things because you tell them.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm an open book, Nicole. I'm an open book.
Too open.
Anything else about yourself do we need to know before this podcast?
Oh, I feel like as time goes on, I don't want to reveal everything too soon.
I'm prepared.
You're prepared.
I am.
You're never. You don't even know how to pay a bill.
Nicole, this is not about. I'm not very good living. That's why I've got you. That's why I've got you. You organise me. You sort me out. You make sure I stay alive every day, and you make sure things are paid. Because if not, I'd probably be living on the street
or in prison.
I'll still be good looking though. Why am I in prison? Why am I in prison?
And you know what though? That's all well and good, except when you want to do something that you want to do that I prefer you didn't.
Like what?
Then you'll say to me, "But you're not my mum."
Or the fun place. Fun place. Nino.
But that's all right. But I can pay the bills and do everything else.
Well, Nicole, it's not like you're the only one that earns money.
No, but it did come across like that.
Yeah, it does. Well, that's the way you like to say. I remember when you started that show, you said, "I hold the purse strings." I was like, "Oh, no, fuck! I don't go to work every day."
Well, I don't know if you call it work, but you go somewhere every day.
I socialise, Nicole. That's a skill.
You're a social butterfly.
Yeah, and that's a skill.
Yeah.
And when we get to fill the cupcake on, he's very similar to me. You know what I mean? You don't have dogs and bark.
And his wife wants to kill him most days.
Nicole, you don't have dogs and bark. And do you know what I mean?
Are you implying that I'm a dog?
Listen, there's people that operate and there's people that command.
Okay, well, let's learn a bit more about you because you love to talk about yourself.
Well, I'm lucky sperm, and I. So my mum and dad had a good childhood. My dad played professional football, most people know Les Sealey.
Bit of a name drop.
Played for Man United, won a few medals later in his life.
So basically, I've got to stop you. So basically, first of all, you were Les Sealey's son, and now you're Nicole Sealey's husband.
Yeah. She's nicked that off me. I say that to people.
I am only saying
she
that.
She stole that, and that's in my book to say, and she's nicked it off me. So basically, if you hang around with me, like I was in my dad's bollocks, he became a footballer. And now she married me, and now she's famous. So if you're around me in any way, shape, or form, you become famous. So I'm just a bit like the miser. I touch things, they turn to gold, right? Okay. So I touch people.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? No. Not inappropriately.
Yeah.
Right? Just touch them.
I wouldn't be sharing
and
that.
And they become famous. I'm 37 years old. Nicole met me when I was 23. Some people would say she was a predator, but, that was back then, and you got away with stuff like that then.
I like to say cougar, but you can say predator.
Yeah, cougar. We've been together since, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me, really. So I say funny things about it, but
yeah. Well, I'm not being funny. You literally asked me to marry you every Sunday until you wore me down, and I was a bit drunk, and I said yes. So
And you're still married. We're still married.
It was you doing the chasing, hun.
But we're still married.
Yeah.
What do you know? We're still married unless we're getting divorced that I don't know about.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. But no, hopefully we'll see what goes on for the next 12 years of marriage.
Right, so we moved to Cheshire 5 years ago.
6
years ago, is it now? 6 years ago from Essex, where we lived in Chigwell. And basically that's me. You know, I operate a gym. I've had other businesses in the past that we no longer have. What are you talking for?
I was just thinking about you being born in Coventry.
Oh, yeah. So Nicole likes to tell everyone I was born in Coventry.
It's just I don't know anyone that... I mean, there are obviously people born in Coventry. It's just so random.
Coventry's a beautiful city, Nicole. I don't know what your problem is with it. She's a hater.
I was born in the sound of the Bow Bells.
She's East London.
I was born in East London.
So, yeah, I was born in Coventry. My dad played for Coventry City at the time, and he was there for 8 years. I was born in the last 2 months of it, and then we moved back to London. So that's where I guess my accent comes from. And
you're an Essex boy through and through, let's be honest. We've established that now.
Nicole, I lived in Chingford. That is East London.
I've been telling him for
E4.
years. He liked to think he was from London. I'm like,
E4,
no.
Nicole, E4 is East London.
Have you heard your accent? You are 100% an Essex boy.
Well, whatever. You can all make your own minds up, guys. Maybe we can hear a bit about that when we do some phone-ins. Only people that like me can phone in, because that's, she's the co-presenter and I'm the main presenter.
Okay, are you going to do the weather soon?
No, I'm not doing the weather. Well, it's raining. We live in Gotham, Nicole.
Yeah,
Cheshire's Gotham.
It is the thing I hate about living in the north.
It rains every day.
Yeah.
And it's great, but I love it up here. I wouldn't change it for the world. There's no traffic. People are friendlier. I love it. So, yeah, I lived in London after Coventry, and then I moved to Manchester or Cheshire in Wilmslow when my dad was at Man United. And then when he left, we moved back to London. And then we moved up 6 years ago. Obviously, we've got 3 kids and 2 dogs and a wife. One wife.
Well, I've got another wife that I don't know about. I'm not sure you know about that one.
And the reason I really this podcast was kind of my idea that I thought about. I've been thinking about it for a little while.
He's feeling left out. Let's be honest.
No, it's not because of that. But do you know what it was? My businesses have been because of this current climate and because of COVID are completely shut at the moment. And for the first 6 weeks, I'll be honest, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing nothing. I enjoyed going out for a walk. The weather was nice. I wasn't watching the telly. I'd made sure I sit in the sun. And like people keep saying to me, "You're so brown." It's because I sat outside every day. But last week I started feeling a bit, Monday and Tuesday especially, when the weather wasn't as good. I was feeling a bit down. I was thinking, what am I doing? I can't work. What is going on? And I thought, what do I like? And I like podcasts.
And he likes to talk about himself. So it's perfect.
Another dig. And she spoke over me. She loves that.
I wouldn't have got a word in edgeways otherwise.
No, let me run this through. So,
all right, go on then.
I was feeling a bit like that, and I thought, do you know what do I like? And do you know what I do? I'm not a music person. I don't listen. Nicole likes music. I don't, and I never buy music, but I do listen to podcasts, and they're mainly around. I like podcasts like The Office Blokes and Under the Cosh. I like. Basically football related. Peter Crouch, which we both listen to.
I like Peter Crouch.
And I even sign up some of the Patreon ones with that you pay for. I listen to sports interview podcasts. Carlton Cole and Marlon Harewood just bought one out. And I thought, what do I like doing? I thought, I like podcasts. I can talk as much as you like. I've done a couple of podcasts for other people. Obviously, Nicole's got this platform now. And I thought, why don't I use my wife and create a podcast? So I went home. First of all, it was funny. I was with a friend of mine, social distanced away, running in the park after we was allowed to. And he said, who's an accountant, and he said, I've got a client, Atlantic Podcast Studios, and do you want to talk to him? Because the day before, I went online when I was feeling a bit down about 11 o'clock at night. I thought, I'm starting a podcast. And I just went on some sites and I thought, how does this work? And I registered the names and stuff. And then I clicked on record, and it isn't that simple. And then so I thought, oh God, that technical bit is not my strong point. The talking shit bit is my strong point, as Nicole will tell you. Right. But so it was funny. The day after, Simon said to me, I've got this client, Atlantic Podcast Studios. They're doing this thing. Do you want to meet them? So I was like, yeah, of course I do. So we did a social distance meeting. And then that was a week ago. And now I'm here. It's Monday morning.
First date after the anniversary. This is where he takes me. Do you know what I mean?
Talking of it was our anniversary yesterday, but I didn't see Nicole because she was filming yesterday for 14 hours.
Yeah.
They had the reunion.
I bought you a lovely present though, didn't I?
She bought me a beautiful gift.
To make up for it. It was like,
gift.
Like a...
Well, we'll talk about what you did yesterday in a bit. And that's where this started. Really my love for podcasts, and you know what I think we'll do over the period of time we're doing this, hopefully for a long time, is it'll develop into guests, and if people want to listen to it. If they don't,
you'll be devastated, won't you?
Me and you just talking. Well, it'll be your fault because it'll be your followers that don't listen. Right? So, you know, I'll get the Mac Massive listening, which we can talk about today, actually.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I've had a few messages.
I have as well, which is I've got some questions anyway here for you, really. So that's generally what we're about. So Nicole started obviously filming Cheshire Housewives this series. I can talk about that. Right, so that's in our lives, and it's on the telly now, and it's currently on ITVB every week at 9 p.m, where you can see a beautiful face.
And there's quite a lot of it to see.
Yeah, you've had a bit of nastiness, haven't you?
Well, no, because the face clearly is not for camera. It seems to grow.
Should we start this by talking about haters? I like to call them. They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, well, to be fair...
That could be a section.
Yeah, it could be a section. To be fair, I've been pretty lucky, because actually more you get to know sort of, you know, within sort of an industry, how mean people can be. Actually, when I look at the whole thing, the first week, I had really, really positive feedback, but there were obviously a few Twitter trolls that were quite mean, and I was a little bit taken back because it was like so aggressive, and I think it was a bit like, wow, like, you know, one particular person had put on there that they'd worked for me, like it was so personal and really, really attacking, and I was quite taken aback.
It affected you a little bit.
Yeah, and I reported it, and they took it down. And I was like, I don't even actually know this person. I didn't think people like that existed. Just made stuff up. Anyway, but on the whole, people have been quite nice. Apart from obviously, because obviously my weight had become like a bit of an issue through the show. So I had, you know, a few mean comments.
I want to hear what these comments were. This is the section. They hate us because they ain't us.
Yes,
Nicole.
well, I mean, I've got to be honest with you. You know, I wouldn't lie about the size I was anyway. I wouldn't feel the need to.
You've never been big.
No, I think so. The biggest I'd ever been, even at my biggest, was a 12, like on the top. Well, the biggest I'd ever been. But I am quite short, and I've got a fat face.
How tall are you?
5'2.5".
No, you're not. 5'2". Go on.
The half is very important. You tell me that all the time. But people put on there like, oh, have you cut all the size 16 labels out of your clothes? And so, but I was like, oh my God, like, so quite personal, but I would say it's been, you know, 5% me, 95% really positive. And actually I have lost more weight. People are really interested. So it was, so it's been quite good. But people are.
Is that the only nasty comment you've had?
About my weight?
No, about anything. Because I can tell you one that I've had. I've only had one or two. And I've got to be honest, I'm all about the hate.
God, right? He loves it.
I love it. You send me some hate, I'm all over it. I love it.
You lap it up, don't you?
Oh, it makes me laugh. So there's a meme of me on the
hilarious.
show. Well, this is the thing. I don't look for the hate. Nicole tells me every bit of hate there is about me online. It's like she revels in it. So anyway, she said to me the other week, there's a meme of you. And I'm like, what's the meme? It's like, so it's me saying something. And then over the top, it's Patsy from Ab Fab going, piss off.
Yeah. It was quite funny, wasn't it?
So it's quite funny. And the children found that hilarious.
Yeah. I liked. Do you know what I did like though? Someone put, but I actually thought this was really funny, and I took it as a compliment. So it's how you want to flip it, isn't it? So I don't know. Back in the 80s, there was a program called Widows, and like the main character, she was like the head of the gangster. Do you know what I mean? And they did a big robbery, and someone said I was like her, but I did apparently look like her. After I'd spent the money from the robbery and had all the plastic surgery done.
Is that what happened on that show? Did she have
No, she didn't. But
that's what you've done with the dough.
That's what I did with the dough. So I thought that was really funny. So stuff like that, I don't really think's that mean.
In actual fact, Nicole hasn't had any work done, have you?
No.
Not I know of.
No. I've had in between my eyebrows, but obviously
What's
not
that?
in lockdown, a little bit
What do you mean in between your eyebrows?
In between your eyebrows, because I frown a bit that way.
What work did you have done there?
Well, a little bit Botox.
Oh, Botox, all right.
But to be fair...
You've got good skin, haven't you?
I'm quite lucky that I've got good skin. So yeah, can't... Although I had to have my nose redone, because Joe actually... I'd broken my nose 3 times, and Joe elbowed me in the face the last time in bed.
I was asleep.
And broke my nose and
rolled over.
Yeah, so that had
True
to be...
True story.
True. Oh, and actually pushed me out of the bed, didn't you? The week, like 10... Yeah, I've forgotten about that. You've actually injured me quite a few times. So, like 2 weeks before we were due to get married, Joe basically pushed me out the bed.
This is not true.
And I fell out of the bed. Anyway, I was in agony, and him and his brother were literally laughing at me, saying, how much noise are you making? God, you're being a bit over dramatic.
You only fell out of bed, yeah.
You only fell out of bed. So I go shopping one day, and I was in agony, and I thought, literally, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. And I think the wedding was, 6 days before the wedding, maybe 6-7 days before the wedding. So I got into the hospital, and I'm apologising, and I go, look, I'm really sorry. I'm sure it's nothing, but I'm really, really in a lot of pain. Anyway, I go for an x-ray, and it's about an inch separated on my shoulder. I've been walking around with a broken shoulder with them laughing at me. So anyway, they turn around and say, we need to operate and put a pin in it. So I said, well, is that going to leave a scar? So they went, well, yeah, we'll leave a scar. And I was like, well, I'm getting married in 6 days and my dress is strapless. That is not going to work for me. So I said, we'll have to leave it. So I left my shoulder broken. And we went on our honeymoon, came back because they said you'll have to come back, and then they said we're gonna have to re-break it. So I never got it fixed, basically, did I?
No.
So that was obviously my wedding present from you.
That made it sound like that I'm the worst person ever.
Yeah.
So this is what she likes.
Pretty bad. That.
This is how she likes to make me look. It makes her happy. This is why she tells me about all the hate.
Do you have any broken things? I basically have ended up with two.
I've got a broken
things.
heart every time you speak, and it's like daggers in it, and you stab me with your words.
Do you know what? Being married to you, you have to have thick skin.
I'm very loving.
Our cleaner, our cleaner knows the truth, and she says
she's the only thing I miss since this started.
Yeah, I miss her as well. I really miss her. 5 adults in the house.
Yeah.
Literally, it was all right to start with, and when they annoy me, I do like to bleach stuff. So when I'm a bit pissed off, get the bleach out, and everything's clean. But I have now. Week 9. Week 9,
20th
I'm like,
of March,
literally,
I stopped.
I'm missing the cleaner. It's like my thing. I have the cleaner 3 times a week, and yeah.
To be fair, you're busy, aren't you? You're running your business,
yeah.
and
I am, and we're filming now as well.
Yeah, Nicole, to be honest, works a lot harder than me, and will work all day and all night if she has to. She sleeps with her phone under a pillow, which drives me mad.
It's probably not the best, is it?
No.
It's probably not what you should do.
Because in the rail industry, it's 24 hours a day, people are working basically day and night. So basically, when you're delayed and you've got them men in orange vests and you're like, for fuck's sake, why is the train 20 minutes late? It's Nicole's fault. So from now on, when you're on a platform and you see that delay, send Nicole a message. Let her know how you feel about her company delaying you. Is that right, Nicole?
Yeah, that's correct. No, it's not.
We're going to wait because Nicole's on the phone.
Yeah, I'm just going to send a text. Working.
No, you can't. You can't do that when I'm doing this. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to from next week. That phone will be taken off of you.
It won't.
It will. It needs to be left in the car. It stops the show from moving, doesn't it?
Oh, okay, all right.
Come on, I told you if you're going to commit to this, I'm having you. I could have got another presenter, right? I could have asked other people.
You begged me to do this.
I could have asked other people.
Could you?
There's a lot of housewives. There's a lot of you.
They've got their own husbands, well, some of them.
Do you know what I mean? So that's when you're delayed. Anyway, when you're delayed next time when you're on that platform, take a picture of that sign, and I want you to send it to Nicole and blame her. Tag me in, please.
No, we do a lot of the maintenance. So you know what? When your trains are running on time, that's because of me, not the delays. I always look at the positive, Joe. That's what the difference between you and I. I'm a half glass full.
Oh.
You're a half glass empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, half glass empty.
Nearly right.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's what I see what happens when she's trying to use like innuendos.
Metaphors,
whatever.
Innuendos is what you
Whatever,
do.
I left school at 16.
Well, I left school at 15, so there's not a lot of education between the two of us.
We can talk about that in a bit, actually, because some of the questions here are about that stuff. I mean...
Yeah, to me, that relates back to probably what you were talking about. I did leave school at 15, and it's not what you obviously... One of the first of the kids have gone to university, and I think we're both super proud of that.
She worked hard to do that.
Yeah, and so that's really nice. And she sort of, to have the first one go to university. I'm proud of all of them, but that's quite something when, I don't have any education. I didn't even pass which wouldn't have been GCSEs. What would there be? O levels or whatever. I don't know. That's how good I was at school. But I self-taught myself.
You did.
When I left school. I hadn't even learnt to type at school or anything, because then computers were only just coming in. So at
It was like feathers and ink then, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. But I didn't know how to type. So I bought myself a computer at 19 and I self-taught myself to use a computer. And I'm like a genius.
Nicole, if she gets something in her head, we'll do it. I mean, about, was it 7 years ago now? You got your arm trapped.
I paralysed my arm, didn't I?
So when I was in France, and we had, I'm going to say it was our own fault, right? Because I'm going to tell the truth because I don't like lies, Nicole. As you know, you don't like lies. So we had these gates that were sliders that were railinged. And instead of going in and pressing the buzzer to open the gate, she put...
But we had problems with it.
We had problems, but we all used to do it. We used to put our arm through, put a pin, and pull your arm back through before the gate moved. Nicole didn't move her arm, and she got pinned between the gate and the brick pole, basically. And I was in France, and the fire brigade had come, and she wasn't well, and she ended up in hospital, and she paralysed her arm. What you tell them?
Basically, I'd crushed the radial nerve, but they also thought so I'm trying to. Joe's mum at the time had cancer, so I got her to drop me outside the hospital. I didn't want to panic Joe. I'd sent the ambulance away because I said I was okay. But when I got indoors, I'd gone to do something and realised that actually my arm did not move. Anyway,
it was your wrist, weren't it?
It was from base. Yeah, but I couldn't use my hand at all. Anyway, I get to the hospital. She drops me off. I'm in there. Don't want to panic him, so I'm on my own. I'm in there then all day, like different people come down. You then realise something's not quite right. They have me up on the ward and I'm right by the nurse's station, so you know something's not quite right then. But they thought I had compartment compression, which you can die from, which luckily I didn't. Anyway, I came out and Joe was really, really kind of quite sympathetic, not. When I got home and he saw me, he went, it was a comment about how unattractive it was. Well, that's not very attractive. What
did I say?
You did something like very unattractive.
No, I would never. Do you know what? I don't believe that. I ain't that person. You know I'm not as well. That's not fair.
You did.
I don't. She's lying.
And he was more worried about what would happen in the bedroom with no right hand. So no, he was thinking about himself again. No, but to be fair, I did teach myself.
You functioned, didn't you?
Do you know what? I started driving a week after. Even your mum said, being like I am, she thought I would really struggle to lose use of a limb, and I didn't have any movement in it for 2 years.
It took a few years for it to come back. Even I think only now you've got your grip back fully.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I mean, it's never going to be 100%, but it's pretty good now. Yeah. Anyway, and they never knew, and they can't tell you if it's ever going to come back. So at that point, you kind of just got to get on with it. So I learnt to write with my left hand. I mean, I drove. I did everything as normal. I struggled a bit with the hair drying. That's when I started having a blow dry once a week.
You do like that, don't you?
Yeah, so I do kind of have a blow dry once a week.
You're in there 3 times a week.
Now maybe a bit more.
If I don't know where she is, I literally drive to the salon and then go in there and then I can find her.
But it is the only thing I do. So, I mean, to overcome that, and I used to think it's quite funny, if you look at people with disabilities, let's say, or loss of a leg or an arm or whatever, I know I hadn't lost it, but I did have no use of it. It was like not having that limb. And I realised before I'd have been like, oh God, I don't think I could live without, having a leg. I had to people get on with it. But actually, your view when it happens to you completely changes. And you do just get on with it. We met a couple, didn't we, with a son that went blind. Yeah. I know it's not the same thing, but again, he went blind, and apparently, like they were saying, weren't they?
14,
at 14, happiest. But now I kind of get it. Before I wouldn't have got it. Straight away you go, oh, how terrible. They can't do this or they can't do that. So again, it's a life experience that changed your view.
I mean, if that would have, I've got to be honest, let's be honest, right? And and I know, if that happened to me, I'd be fucking useless. My hand would still be on the floor. I ain't like her. I feel sorry for myself and I milk it to the extreme for all it can be done. But like Nicole skipped some of the things, she had Luca at 24.
No, 23.
23. Yeah. She had cancer at 24.
25.
25. There you go. Give or take. Well, I didn't know you then. I was about in 9. So
no, you weren't 9, cheeky bugger.
So she had cancer as well. She misses all this out. People don't know she's a very strong person. She gets on with things, and you've had a lot of hard to it, really, compared to most people. People don't realise that, though. They watch these shows and they think, oh, great life, but you fucking worked hard.
Yeah, and I didn't always,
She comes from not a lot.
Well, it was interesting. I think I had quite an interesting start to life, really. I lived with my mum till I was 7, and then I went to live with my dad. I obviously still saw both of them. But my mum didn't have that much. My mum was a cleaner and she worked really hard, but didn't
your
have a
mum's
lot.
always worked, hasn't she?
And my dad was self-made.
Now she sells a bit of Nick gear.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does.
My mum's nearly 70, bless
Yeah, she's
her.
always got a bit of hooking gear around her.
She has. Don't listen to him. God, you're a nightmare. But my dad was self-made, and he did lose all his money in the 80s. So I'd seen him, but I'd lived both kind of lives. But he lost all his money at 15, which is when I left home.
When you were 15?
When I was 15. Sorry, he lost all his money when I was 15. So I then lived on my own.
Yeah, he basically left her.
Well, no, he didn't. He
moved to Spain and then New Zealand and left you.
No,
yeah. He did.
He can't remember. He's got Alzheimer's now.
He's not well. He's not a well man actually now, is he?
He has. So, but what I'm saying is, I think it gave me a really great view and really great tools. One, I'm quite independent, yes, but I also feel comfortable in any walk of life, really. I think for me, I am pretty comfortable. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I think I'm equal to everybody. There isn't anybody that I would meet that would feel intimidated by.
Even me.
Well, definitely not you. But no, so I think it gives you great tools. I think I'm quite lucky, actually. So I think even with some of the hardships, and I've lived in some shockers. I live in my 43rd house that I've lived in since I was born, which is some going. I could have just bought myself a caravan. I think cheaper.
She's skipping it over it. But she's making it sound better. She was left at 15, 16 with no money, nowhere to live. And she went to Israel. Did you go to Israel then?
Yeah, well, I did a kibbutz.
A kibbutz with I think your dad gave you 500 quid, didn't he? When he fucked up.
Yeah.
She's actually in the house when it got repossessed by the bailiffs and got kicked out.
They were taking the rad. So quite
nice.
Yeah, not nice. But
unfortunately.
But not, then day, look, life's difficult. As parents' life. Yeah. As you get older, you listen to so many people that are like so bitter about, my parents didn't do that. I think at the end of the day, being a parent's a bloody difficult job.
Yeah, it is.
At the end of the day, you don't, it's not easy, is it?
No.
And people have things going on, whatever they may be, and you just do your best, don't you? Like we do for our kids. I mean, when I'm screaming up the stairs at them, they probably don't think I'm the best mum in the world, but I think they know that we love them.
All you can do is try your best, and remember that no one's perfect, and
I'm pretty perfect.
What you got, you're not. And then what you've got to try and do is remember that at the minute, especially a lot of people are under a lot of stress at the minute, and obviously that comes home, and
I've been asked so many questions.
I mean, we can go on to that a bit in a minute. I mean, that's the something that people are interested in, and it's relevant at the minute. It's difficult out there, and we're speaking to people, and I'm hearing people losing their jobs now, and people are saying things like, and I can see it both ends, because business owners, you can see it, and it's sad, but they go, why am I being made redundant when there's furlough? Well, you're being made redundant because that furlough's paying your redundancy money, because that business needs to save that money, and it's a terrible thing, that's happening at the moment, but businesses have got to stay alive, might have to take that advantage, and I haven't made anyone redundant, you haven't made anyone redundant, have you? And I don't think we're going to, but if you're in that situation, and the type of businesses like these airlines or whatever, and you've got so many staff, and that people are now realising that we can work from home and Zoom, and I think that will change a lot of travel.
I mean, my
people
business,
are being made redundant.
Even though obviously I'm an industry that's working, I've had to make some decisions.
Yeah. You're 60-70% down?
No, probably 70% down. So our target, at the end of the day, we all have bills to pay. It doesn't matter what you've got. My target from the outset was break even. I don't take anything out during this period, and my staff are doing really well. We're the ones that are working still. We're hitting our targets at the moment, but we don't know, and I don't know what impact, because obviously we get our money from the government, it trickles down to us. So in the next 5 years, we don't know what cuts are going to be made. My industry could be affected. At the moment, it has, it was supposed to be the best 5 years for RAL, because we're heaviest in RAL. So I was looking for a real, big 5 years. At the end of the day, I'm not getting any younger. I was thinking it's going to be that now. Could be hugely different, couldn't it?
I think we're spending £1 billion a month. I'm reading on furlough. The NHS obviously needs a lot of money, and it's going to have to come back now. I think the VAT might be increased. I think we don't know. They did it before when it dropped to 15 and went up to 20 and never went back to 17.5. eventually the country has to get that back. Now, a lot of this stuff that's coming to businesses is loans, and that's got to be repaid. And you're going to get 6 years to repay that money, and it's you have to make that decision as business owners. Well, do you take those loans, and what's happening over 6 years, or do you try and get through? Because what not everyone realises, and I'm getting it from people that work for us, is yes, you can pause your mortgages and some of your home stuff, but commercial stuff at the minute has to be paid. And if you've got that money in that account, your business rents, rates have stopped, but your business rent, if you've got business loans, are still having to be fulfilled. And that's, people don't see that side. And I know they haven't got to because they're not working, but I think that's out there. People don't see it.
So it's just a difficult time. And I've had lots of questions, and I think
I've got some questions here for you.
Yeah, so go on then.
Do you want to start on the work stuff then? Because we're on that. Because I've got all different questions for you.
Yeah, well, I've got one of the ones I do want to say, and I don't know if it's one of the questions. But
she's not letting me speak.
No, you can speak after.
No, go on. Go on. You grant on. Go on.
So no, but this was quite a nice little story. So I just want to tell you. So a lady had inboxed me.
What's her name?
I don't know. I'd have to look at my
Sandra.
phone. But we'll call her Sandra. She might want to remain anonymous.
I like the name Sandra.
Oh, do you? Was it a teacher from school or something?
I don't remember any of my teachers from school.
Anyway, so we're kind of calling her Sandra. Inboxed me, and she was feeling pretty down. And you know what? All of a sudden, where I'm doing the TV stuff, I'm obviously getting people message me that I don't know. Anyway, I try to respond to everybody. It's difficult because you're getting so many messages, but I really do try to respond. Anyway, I'd sort of been, conversing with her, and she was saying how down she was, that she'd lost her job. Anyway, she said, have I got any tips for her? How do I remain positive? And I have to because I'm married to Joe, so I do on a daily basis remain positive.
I'm a very positive person.
But anyway, so we chatted, and I gave her some tips on how I kind of try and focus and and get through this time. Anyway, she then re-messaged me a week later, and
Sandra,
Sandra had re-messaged me a week later, and she'd gone on a job interview, like a virtual one, for a care home, and she got the job. And she sent me a lovely message back, and she said, obviously she had to go and get the job herself, but she said it gave her the confidence in the interview that she could, because she'd felt like she wasn't going to be able to do anything. So do you know what? If I can give someone even that just by a little conversation, they're amazing, and that made me feel really good.
Yeah, I think before you do these TV things, as Nicole's been doing, you don't realise that how really you can get into people's lives, and you by doing that to help that lady, and that's amazing. For example, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, someone's, and I don't know who it is actually, but I'm guessing now it's a female from what she sent me yesterday. Nicole's got a fan page on Instagram, isn't it? Nicole Sealey fan, Nicole_Sealey fan, or something like that. And she hadn't posted for a week, and I thought, she don't like what Nicole did in the last episode. She's got disappeared. Anyway, she messaged yesterday, and I said, I wondered what happened to you. She went, I lost my job. I was a teacher, and I've been made redundant, but now I've got a job in doing something in a hotel. And I thought, good. It's not easy at the moment, and to hear people getting jobs, especially if you've helped them, I think that's amazing. I don't think I helped.
It was just nice. It's nice. That's a really nice feeling back. But anyway, come and ask me some of your questions you have in your book over there.
All right. So,
I've never seen you write before. I didn't even know you could write.
See how rude she is to me. This is why I like podcasts.
Did you get someone to write it?
No, I did it. And do you know what? I asked her to write her questions and people sent her, and she didn't. So this is why she's not prepared and I am. But the reason I like podcasts and audiobooks is, Nicole would say, I don't read.
Can't read. Huh?
I can read, but since they've come out, I've probably not read a book since audiobooks and podcasts
I actually love to read a book.
Yeah, but you like podcasts more.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do now.
I do now.
Right,
what can I? But Joe's got a guilty pleasure. Can I share?
If it's a brand name, no.
No, he's obsessed with James Stunt on Instagram. You are. You think he's hilarious. You do. Confess.
Well, you've got me onto this. I like James Dunn, but I'm actually friends with the person he has a go at.
No, but you're obsessed. So you think it's quite funny.
He's off his box, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's on Instagram Live. You need to watch him. It's
like,
not normal behaviour.
Like car crash TV.
Oh, God, it's like watching someone have a mental breakdown on Instagram, which is really sad.
Nice.
No, it's terrible. That's why I'm watching it. I'm actually concerned for him. He's not normal behaviour.
But I quite often really listening to it.
Yeah, okay. So Kirsty wants to know is, how have you lost the weight and kept it off? Well, I never thought she was big. But you seem to be getting a lot of these questions now.
Yeah, I have.
Is this
dropped
like we're
weight.
talking about? Are you going to try and monetize this weight loss thing or what?
Yeah, do you know what? I kind of, I'm probably not going to go into it too much because I've literally got so many questions. So I'm going to put something together to sort of put out there going forward. So I kind of.
How much weight have you lost?
Well, from August, this is before obviously I did the show. We'd gone out. We've got a place in Mallorca, and I probably had been the heaviest I've been since I moved up. I'd never been big, but I turned 40 and the weight had crept up. I think the hormones had gone a bit bad. He kept buying me cakes.
Yeah,
and
I do
said,
like food.
He's a bit of a feeder. So I think just over time, like probably happens to us all, busy, not eating like the stuff that I should be. Anyway, it turns out as well that my gallbladder's not working, so that wouldn't have been helping. Anyway, started to do a lot more exercise. And obviously not eating as much. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? If you eat less and you exercise more, you lose weight. Yeah. So I've done it gradually since August, and I've lost about 2 stone 10 pounds since August.
I don't think you need to lose any more weight at the minute.
No,
you look great.
Yeah, no, I'd like to do a bit more, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it healthily.
You are.
But yeah, all of a sudden, the last couple of pounds. But on camera, unfortunately, you look a stone heavier, and you also learn stuff on camera. Like you learn what hairstyles look shocking. You learn what clothes look good in day-to-day life.
Stick to your question.
Okay.
So let's go back to that, right?
So
how much do you weigh?
I'm not.
No, come on.
No, I'm
no,
not.
this is an on. Don't.
No,
come on.
I'm
What
not
are
telling
you?
you.
No, come on.
Because I think that it becomes like a big focus.
No, because we're going to make this a thing every week. Your weight.
No, I'm not doing that. Because I tell you why. Because I said my dress size.
What's your dress? You're an 18, yeah?
Well, I am now, but I was a 10 at the time when I said it. So when I said that, everyone just absolutely focused on it, good and bad.
I'm going to put him at 9 stone.
And I'm not. Yeah, but I'm just not going to say my weight because it will be the same thing as the dress size, and it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
I'm only joking.
You know, there's people out there focus on that, and I'm not going to make it a thing. Actually, as long as I'm healthy, that's all that matters.
Well, actually, I'm 17 stone 10 today, so I need to get my arse in gear. The problem is for me, I probably need to let down your book, and she'll tell you this. I train hard. Yeah. Like, I will train. I've already trained this morning.
In that way,
I train twice a day, right? Yeah. I'll run in the morning, I'll do Peloton, I'll do weights. Obviously, we've got a gym business. I train with the trainers we've got. You know, they've been saying it to me for years, but my food, I eat whatever I want. And I go through phases. I find that really hard. And it's probably a bit of an issue for me. But do you know what? With this podcast, every week, I'm going to lose weight.
Okay.
Right? Don't
He's
laugh.
been saying that since the day I met him.
Right.
I'm not going to...
And I went up once to 23 stone.
Yeah, and you went to Weight Watchers, didn't you?
No, that's not when I went to Weight Watchers, Nicole.
Was it not?
No, are they paying to be on this podcast? No.
Oh, it's a lot of years ago.
No, that was when we got married. I went to Weight Watchers. Other brands are available. Dickhead, right? And and I lost. Do you know what? I'll tell you what happened. Right, I have loads of issues in my life. I become addicted to anything. I can be addicted to
coffee.
I've been addicted to drugs. I've been addicted to alcohol. I get addicted to food. I don't care about talking about this stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm open and honest.
Right? It's a bit heavy for a Monday morning.
This is what I'm talking about, right? So, you know, I get addicted to things. So, you know, I'm better now. I'm a lot better than I've ever been really now, aren't I? To be fair.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Speak. Right. So she's looking at me like, don't talk about that, but I don't care.
No, you can talk about it.
So, you know, that's part of my life and that's part of where I've been. You know, I struggled after I got injured playing football and I struggled when my dad died. And it was a phase I went through and really Nicole went me a lot for that.
I just told him to get over it.
She did actually. She did. That's what she said. About 7 years after it all happened to me, I was still like,
I think the words
poor
were,
me.
I think we, you know, if it's all right for me to say. And so basically one day, just, you know, you're just looking at someone and, you know, you want to be supportive.
I'm probably whining about it.
Yeah, and I did sort of say, just build a bridge and get over it now.
Mate,
come on,
first
pull
time I
yourself
laughed.
together.
She made me laugh.
And you did say, didn't you, if anyone had ever said that before to you, you probably, yeah. So
anyway, so I'm 17 stone 10 today and I need to get my weight down a bit. So I'm going to keep my arse in gear and every week we're going to report on
weight loss.
My weight. Right?
Okay.
Healthily. I'm going to be honest, I'm a person that's never going to be unhealthy.
No.
I'm never going to starve or
No.
I haven't got that issue. My problem is eating. And do you know what? Because she gets really stressed out at work and if she's in home and she starts, and you've never heard people talk to someone like that on the phone like she can, I've noticed I open the fridge, she's not even having to go at me, I notice I get anxiety.
He's making me blame you for
No, I'm not blaming you. I've just part of our lives. I've realised this. So so anyway, I need to get my food in order because I'll be healthy 70% of the day, and then I'll eat 3 chocolate bars and 5 lollies. I play poker with my friends on a Friday on Zoom, don't I, Nicole? Yeah. And this week, while on Zoom, I ate a whole loaf of olive bread. What's that cheese I ate?
Camembert.
I ate a whole camembert. I then had 4 cornettos and 3 lollies in 3 hours, and I go, I feel ill.
And I don't like to say to him, well, it's because you've stuffed your fat face.
And then the day after, I'm saying I feel stodgy, innit?
I mean, it's because...
And then I weigh myself every day. It's just a vicious circle. Anyway, so I'm sorting my food out for today, and every week we'll have an update on how fat I am. Right?
Or not.
Or you can be a hater online and tell me. I'm not bothered.
Okay. Go on, tell me some more of my questions anyway.
All right.
Enough about you.
So...
Oh, what about one I got?
Go on then.
Whether I like my toes sucked.
Yeah, but who asked you that question?
Paul 1970 or something like that.
Do that bit. So Paul asked her on Instagram, do you like your toes being sucked, Nicole? Her feet stink.
They don't. Yeah. No, but I love to have my feet rubbed.
She does. It's a favourite thing.
Literally, I would take that over a piece of jewellery any day. Foot rub. Joe's a bit of an Indian giver though, aren't you? Because he gives me these little vouchers like for Christmas. You lost them. Because I couldn't find them.
I never hid them either.
You hid them, let's be honest. So you didn't have to give the foot rubs out.
I didn't.
Yep. And he kept saying, well, you've lost the vouchers. And I said, but I've only used one of them. No, it don't matter. If you ain't got the vouchers, you're not having the foot rub. Mean. Right,
we've got some business questions, but I'm gonna save them to the end.
Okay.
So Sam wants to know, what have you been doing since lockdown? Or what have we been doing?
Cleaning. Joe's been doing most of the cooking because the children now have apparently said that he's a better cook than me. Well, so I got quite offended.
I'm a really good cook. I quite enjoy it.
It's very messy though. Very messy. You're a good cook, but you're messy. Yeah, my dressing room looks like World War III's gone off. But you have been doing a lot of the cooking, and also one of the things that Joe now does is the ironing, which Joe has never done a household chore in his life.
I haven't.
Since he lived at home or anything.
It's my mum's fault.
So actually lockdown's been amazing that you actually now once a week do the ironing, don't you?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever done anything. I've done the dishwasher now as well. I never really did dishwasher ever. I've never used a washing machine, and I never picked an iron up in my whole life. I never made a bed. I still haven't made a bed.
No,
my mum says to Nicole, I'm really sorry. Like, my mum did it.
She apologises to me.
And then I met Nicole. She did it. Then we made a bit of money, and then Lisa did it. So, I thought, do you know what happened when we started lockdown? I thought, this is going to be hard enough. Do you know what I mean? She knows what. There's 5 adults. I can do my bit.
Yeah. I know. I
clean the kitchen and stuff, and it's things we appreciate it. I think it's part of life now, and it's not. It shouldn't be something I get patted on the back for. I should do that. I don't think it's.
Are you going to keep
I like
it
to
up?
tell people and say, I've done this for you.
Are you going to keep it up?
What when the house?
Yeah, but still there's other bits to be done. You can do a basket once a week.
No, I'm not. No, I could pay someone to do it whenever I do it. But
shambles.
I don't mind doing it.
And what else? Do you want to know?
So what else have you been doing in lockdown?
Walking.
Yeah, we've done a lot of walking.
I've been doing obviously a little bit of stuff on the phone. I've been filming obviously as well.
When she says filming, they film it. We've got a camera permanently set up in our house,
which I'm glad.
There's not people filming in the house.
No, but I'm over the moon because the cameras are everywhere. So I'm really happy that they'll be leaving the house hopefully tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, so I've been pretty occupied, and obviously we've got the kids in the house as well.
I think with lockdown, the one thing from our lives we've been lucky with, or some people might say unlucky with, we spend a lot of time together right? So because of this isn't. I don't think this is us spending that much more time together than we already do. No. We do everything together. Really, that's not saying I'm saying because of this podcast.
No.
Most times, if you see me, we'll probably be together. It's not often we're not.
No. So yeah, I mean, for us, it's not been that difficult. I know for quite a lot of our friends don't spend a huge amount of time together. They might have separate jobs. Might only see each other a couple of hours in the evening. Yeah. For us, it isn't like that. No. So that's not been difficult. What I've missed the most is travelling. It's kind of the thing that I love to do, and I've really missed it.
We were trying to spend
half the
week or every 2 weeks, 4 or 5 days in Mallorca. We got a place there now, and we were doing it really well.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And it was working well, and we enjoyed it. We walked a lot when we were there.
That's probably why I started to lose a bit of weight as well, because we were walking and biking. Although Joe's absolutely shocking on a push bike. I'm not bad on a push bike, am I? You're shocking.
Have you noticed everything we talk about is a downfall in my skills of something?
I can't play tennis and I can't swim that well because literally I've got big boobs and short arms, and when I swim,
anywhere.
I just kind of still stay in the same
It's like
place.
a frog that don't move.
And I'm really rubbish at tennis, and obviously, so sport games you're much better at than me, but I am better at riding a bike than you. Because you fell off, didn't you? I believe
I fell up in a bush,
there's
didn't
evidence as well that I have proof because there's a video.
I think it's probably on her Instagram.
But go on.
I'm not very good on bikes, and we do like to travel. And do you know what? I booked an holiday for November, and
we're hoping we can go
at the end of November, December. I booked the Maldives for 3 weeks, and
can't wait.
Because I don't know.
And it is
I used my air miles, and it's like our other anniversary. We met on the 30th of November.
Yeah, and it's our favourite place, isn't it? It is our favourite place.
I mean, we're like that. We don't need a lot to. As long as I always find, as long as we're together, we're okay. I'm okay. I don't need loads of people or things to do. As long as I've got a bit of somewhere to exercise, and we're happy sitting by the sea.
We're quite boring, aren't we, on holiday?
Yeah, we go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock, don't we? We're not big drinkers and stuff like that, and socialise. We're up.
Yeah.
I like to get up early. Have my breakfast, like even in isolation, I'm up at 6, 7 o'clock every day.
The kids say we're
go for
quite
a run
boring
at 8.
on holiday. Quite
We're in
boring.
bed at home at 10, aren't we? Watching telly normally. It's unusual for us to be up later. Okay, so we've got a couple of other questions now. Okay, so this is, I suppose. So Lee wants to know: did we buy the horse?
Well, the horse. I did get the horse.
Yeah, different one.
But not that horse. But
I got it for my birthday.
But we had to pause it because obviously no horses were running. So it's sort of on hold, let's put it that way.
We've got a horse. It's in Ireland.
Yeah, but it's on pause at the moment because nothing can run at the moment. So the deal didn't quite go through. But
what she's saying is she's Indian.
I'm the Indian.
Give me a present. I ain't got when this is over, the horse will be completed. It's on pause. We've got the contract, haven't we? Mm-hmm. So that when you can keep up to date with that while it's running, and maybe it'll be on the show. I don't know.
What else have you got for me? Anything else before we finish?
We're nowhere near finishing.
Okay.
Don't say that. So we've got Jack wants to know, and I get this all the time, and I think you do as well. What's happening with Macclesfield Town Football Club?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I mean, it's probably more of a question for me than you. I mean, you've got a bit of input on it, but I probably deal with this more than...
But it would be 50-50.
Right, no one said you're not involved, Nicole.
Well...
You are the shit Karen Brady.
No, I'm better.
League Two.
No, no, that's not true.
Well, it would be. You'd be Karen Brady of League Two. She's in the Premier League, you're in League Two, you're a shit version. Her face.
Well, you know...
So look, so the situation is this: there is no football at the minute, and
it's not really a deal to be done.
It's not a deal to be done. To be honest, I've had some communication with them over the last period, last month, and stuff, but nothing major. We did make an offer, and in the end, it wasn't completed for a number of reasons. I can't actually get into it too much. It's no big deal, but actually, if you look back at it at the minute, I probably had a bit of a lucky escape because of. COVID, no football, no crowd. I think for League Two and League One, especially if you look at where their revenues are generated, now you've got...
It's all going to change, isn't it?
Well, they're talking about the other stuff, but you've got no TV money coming in to pay players, and you've got no gate receipts, no shirt sales. So I don't know how many League Two and League One clubs could function without
I think
that
the
revenue.
gods were looking down on us, if I'm honest.
Probably.
I hate
but
to say that.
I read yesterday, and I don't know much about what's going on, but they're talking about the National League and League Two joining and having a North and a South. I've also heard that some of League Two could be going part-time, and I think this is what's happening at the moment, unless... Look, I'm a believer when I say this that the Premier League don't have to do this because they don't. Unless the Premier League supports these clubs in some way and the money trickles down from their TV deal, they're in trouble. That league's in trouble, and League One will be in trouble. And it'll be difficult. And even if you look at the Championship, so if you look at the Championship, the TV deal in the Championship at the minute is £100 million, and the wage bill that's all the clubs combined, 100 million split, and the wage bill of the Championship combined is 1 billion, give or take. So they've got a massive gap in the Championship to get to the Premier League, and that's their gamble. And so most of their revenue is also tickets and shirt sales and sponsorship, and all of that's dead. It's a difficult time. No one knows what's happening. Obviously, League Two's cancelled now, League One's not, because they couldn't agree it. And I think the people at Port Vale, who were one place under the playoffs and agreed to finish, they've done an unbelievable thing there, because they could have potentially been promoted the way they're playing. And John Askey, the manager, who's
we know.
Nicole gets on with really well.
I think he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
I do think he's a nice guy.
He was doing a great job, and they've decided to go with what everyone wants. And so Macclesfield Town,
who knows? Never say never.
Never say never, and it's something we're interested in. Whether the deal could be done or not is another thing. I've been asked by a couple of other clubs who I get involved since, and my answer at the minute is no. I've kind of fell in love with that one, and we live in that area.
If we could get the deal done.
If we get the deal done, and we know enough people to, I believe, to drive that club forward.
Yeah.
So that's that. And I keep getting asked that, and I really wish we had done it, because,
And I think we would have done a good job of it, but in this climate...
we would have smashed it.
Yeah. So hopefully, listen, once we all get out of lockdown and everyone knows where things are, maybe the deal can get done.
Yeah, but football, I think, is and it's lots of industries. Football just gets a focus because of the big sport it is, but it shouldn't be true like anything else. It's still a business.
What else is
it goes quite nicely into the next one. So, Nicole, we've had a couple of questions. Influence Contour he wants some business advice, basically. I think this is interesting.
No, I'm joking.
So they've had a business and it's failed, and they're starting again. Now,
right.
I think that's not a bad thing.
No, listen. I always think I don't like the word foul. If something's not worked, it just means you have to choose a different direction. It doesn't mean you've fouled, as long as you've learned from what didn't work and you don't repeat the same mistake. So I think it's really important. It doesn't really matter whether you've opened a grocery store, whether you're going to go and sell pet clothes, whatever it is. Fundamentally, businesses all run the same way.
Yeah.
So what did go wrong? It's about in the preparation, I think. I've been asked this quite a lot. What should I do in lockdown? Well, my advice is do your research.
Yeah.
Prepare. Put a good business plan together. And I know it's the most boring thing in the world. You don't have to be, you don't have to be a professional at making a business plan. A business plan is getting all your information down, all your research, where you want to be going, all your costings. It doesn't matter it's in a perfect format. You can get a bit of help with that.
There is no perfect format, really, is
there? No, well, sometimes it depends if you're going to go to the bank for money and stuff like that. You might need a little bit of help, but there are grants out there, and that's the other thing. People are like, well, what about if I've got no money? So I said use that time wisely, but the most important thing is something has not worked for whatever reason. Learn from it. Also, the other key for me is, and I've tried stuff over the years, but I think where I'm clever enough, and I would say clever enough, is that if something is not working, address it and you stop. Do not keep putting your money into something that is not working. We did this.
I did it probably.
Well, Joe did it. It's something I didn't want to invest into with Joe, but we did. So without going too much into it.
I'll go into it.
No, well, I'm just saying, but it was a business.
It was a restaurant.
It was a restaurant. We were supposed to just invest the money.
Yeah.
It turned out that the people that we invested into couldn't deliver what they said. And I'm a bit of a control freak. Yeah. So I ended up taking over. And it caused a lot of arguments, actually, probably the most between Joe and I, because we disagreed anyway. Joe was away 1 week doing some business.
And you shut it.
And when it came back, I said, I've closed it. But basically, because it isn't working, and we're not quite as that, but what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. But do you know what I was going to say? Everything you just said, research, preparation, I did none of that.
No, you didn't,
right?
No. You just took someone's word.
I dived in. Not just someone's word. It isn't just the people. It's the industry.
Yeah, it is.
We know nothing about food, right? That is a very difficult industry, right?
Yeah.
I thought we've got gyms, healthy food restaurant. I'll be able to smash it into the gyms.
Yeah.
That's not the case, because if your product's not good enough, the people are not good enough, you've got to be on food.
Yeah.
Right now, I've learned a number of lessons from that. My preparation, I did no planning, no financial guides. I didn't look at other industries.
Yeah.
I looked at nothing. I didn't even check the people that I did it with. And then I did check halfway through, and then I realised everything I was told was wrong.
Yeah.
That's not their fault, right? That's my fault.
Yeah.
Because I'm responsible for my actions, right? Not theirs. So, so that was my fault. So we lost 60, 70 grand doing
Probably,
that,
yeah.
right?
But
in a year.
could have been a lot more.
She shut it, and she done.
And you didn't want to. You didn't want to, did you?
Because you don't want to fail, do you? But I think looking back now, she did the right thing because it was stressful, and it took 90% of my time up, and it was making no money.
Well, you're losing money.
You're losing money, and it was.
So don't be scared of that. But I mean, that kind of went off a little bit. But what I'm saying is, don't be afraid if something does not work to either stop it and redirect redirect it. Doesn't mean you have to stop completely, but look at what's not working. What part of it's not working? Can you make it work in a different way? Or do you need to start again from scratch? So going back to that. So if you've had something that failed, learn from it. What did fail? What can you do better? Know what you're talking about. Whether it's a product, know your product, know your industry before you start as well as you can. Doesn't mean you have to be a chef, but you do need to understand rather than just think. I think I don't believe it's failure. I think it's just a change in direction, and many billionaires many billionaires have been bankrupt.
Yeah.
So if you research many people, and you do have to have an element, and probably I'm a little bit more of a risk taker than Joe, actually, interestingly, even though we've just talked about that. I think there has to be an element of risk to any business, or you would never try it. If you wanted to just stay safe, you'd go and work as a teacher or something like that, where you're going to get paid at the end of each week. So every business comes with risk. Now, I've been in an industry for a lot of years that, has seen crashes, has many ups and downs. We've now had Corona. My industry's been tough over the years. But to be a good business person, you have to roll with the good and the bad, and be adaptable to change. So if you're going to run a business, be able to change with things that change. So that's kind of my tip.
It's also
anyway.
Making decisions is important, and that's
very tough.
Some tough decisions. You're not bad at that, are you?
It's probably what I'm good at.
Yeah.
And not everybody likes it. And it's, do you know how hard it is? Like, Joe kind of is always the nice guy. And we say this. He's like, where his sort of business was a little bit different before, he could afford to be everybody's friend. And it's great to be that person. But most industries, unlike football, are not like that. So for me, and again, and it doesn't matter to me, because I don't feel like I have to be a boy, like try and be like a man just because I work in a man's industry.
No, you don't.
I can just I've always just been myself. But you have to make tough decisions, and sometimes people don't like it, and you may offend people. But, if you're going to continue to run a successful business, tough decisions sometimes have to be made.
You have to think of your business as a baby, really, I suppose.
Yeah.
What do you need to do sometimes to keep that baby alive? Whether that, or especially if it's successful. But no, I think what Nicole's saying about cutting the cord if it's not working is so hard, because you don't want to tell people you failed, you don't want to see it, you've thought about it, you've worked at it, but
you
at
said
the
how
day,
will it look, wouldn't it, to the brand? I was like,
but actually it was the right thing to do, and I'm pleased. But I think what Nicole's saying before about starting a business at the moment or anything, you don't need money to start a business. I mean, what I hear from a lot of people is, I need an office, and they don't.
No, I started mine. I didn't have an office.
You don't need flash offices.
No.
You don't, right? You can have that when you've made it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean because you've got flash offices your business is going to work. It just means you're sitting in a fucking nice room with no money in the bank.
Well, I started mine from my dining room.
Yeah.
And my youngest daughter, just before she was born, so as a baby, and literally, mind you, when she started to toddle around, she spent the first part of her life with a little little kid's mobile phone and a pen and paper, where she'd followed me around. So no, you don't. Joe's right. You can do stuff. People will get so caught up in, I need to get an office, I need to get this. Obviously, if you're opening a shop, you clearly,
it's different then.
But again, you can start that online now. The world is amazingly accessible, isn't it?
I mean, you can do it. Most people now can create their own websites if they need to. You don't need a lot of skills to do it on these websites.
Well, our daughter, my middle one, who's at university, is she's obviously doing fashion business at uni, and she's quite quirky, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's quite a cool kid. I keep saying, she's laughing at that. So we've been talking. She wants to start her own brand. And so I've been saying, well, look, you can start that already while you're at university, and because obviously she's learning stuff all the time. So she's going to be in the process of doing that, which I'm really excited to see how she gets on over the next couple of years. We're growing that. And obviously I'll help her as much as possible, but it's good to do it yourself, and you want it to be your own thing.
I think, and what Nicole's saying is, like, nowadays, like, shops are shops, right? I like going into shops because I like to touch things, try things.
You got to stop saying you like to touch things.
I do though. I like touching. I like to feel it before I buy it.
Is that what
if
you were
I'm
doing
buying
to
a sofa, I want to go into a sofa shop and sit on it. I ain't going to buy it online. I don't buy clothes online. I don't actually buy clothes, Nicole.
I think you've been doing a bit of online shopping.
I've done a bit for the first time ever. Up till now, you've probably bought every piece of my clothing for
Don't blame
10
me
years.
for everything if you're
She
shopping
goes out
outfits.
and buys me clothes a lot. She's such a good wife. Anyway, but now we've like social media influencers like her really now, you know, and the touch they have. No. If you get to the right people, if it's a product, you know, and they post it for you, it can change your business. Now, that just takes time about getting in contact with people and pushing and, you know, asking people for favours and, you know, not being scared to ask. Some people are scared to pick the phone up, you know, or send emails. Don't be.
It's a numbers game.
Have a go.
No, it's a numbers game. So you might have to send out, and it's different now because it might be inboxing, inboxing, whatever you do, however you're contacting where you need to be. It's a numbers game. If you keep knocking on a door, do you know what I mean? You know, eventually someone will answer, but you have to have patience. Have patience that you keep going. And, you know, if you've had 2 weeks and you've got no response, keep going. Eventually, someone will give you a chance.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to give someone a chance on this podcast. No, don't shake your head because it ain't the same thing as that.
All right then.
Right?
I thought you were
she's not prepared. That's why.
Go on,
I'm not
go on then.
Do
Go on then.
do you mean the idea you've got that's my idea? But
Go on, get on with it.
You send if you've got a product out there and you're new, right, or struggling, send me your product. Right?
You bloody ponce.
No, send me a product, right? And one we'll try and do one a week.
My husband, the ponce.
Maybe 2, right? We'll review your product on this podcast.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, I'd enjoy
I'll review
that.
your product on this podcast. Now, I'm going to have to put on the Instagram where you send it. So
no sex toys. I'm not doing that.
I will review sex toys. So you send your product, especially if you're struggling. Send me a little email or a letter with it to tell me what it is and what it's about, and we'll review it on this podcast every week, Nicola.
Yeah.
So we'll do a minimum of 1. We can maybe get 3 depending on who the guest is and what they're doing, and even get them to review it. And then if we like it, we'll post it.
Okay.
We can do that, can't we?
Yeah, I think. Well,
why can't you do that? I'll do it.
I don't know. It depends how good it is. No.
And if we don't, and I'll tell you what, and I'll be honest, if I don't like it, this is your risk if you send it to me. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you on this. Right?
Ooh,
no,
risky.
That's the game, right?
It's not a game. It's someone's product.
That's their product. So, but you know, it's not Dragon's Den, but you know, send us a bit of information, and I'll review it.
You're not Peter Jones, though, are you?
I'm better looking than Peter Jones.
Where's your helicopter?
I don't. Do you know what happened to Kobe Bryant? I don't go in helicopters.
No,
Are you mad?
He's got a plane anyway, hasn't he, Peter?
I don't know if he has.
Where's your plane?
Why are you dropping it? Why are you name dropping him?
I don't even know him. You brought up Dragon's Den.
You'd be good in Dragon's Den.
I am a dragon.
You'd be good in Dragon's Den.
I would, yeah.
So send us your products and let's have a review. I think it'll be a good one. If we don't get any products, next week I'm going to review.
What?
I don't know.
This coffee cup. Does it hold tea?
Well, we'll review something I'm going to make up. Or I might review my own products.
You haven't got any products?
Well, I can make one.
That is funny enough.
Send me this pen.
No, that's quite funny. That is our game on holiday, and we like to invent things.
Nicole, comes up with ideas for products and stuff. And
we've never made one, but it's always been our thing.
I don't think product thing's my idea.
Like
quite for me.
Quite often, we'll be on holiday, and we have to ring Joe's mum. It's quite funny, and so she's like, obviously my brain gets a bit bored clearly because I start inventing things and. You know, by the time we get back, I never actually make the product, but usually I've come back with a product. Yeah.
So send it in, send your product or an idea, and we'll review it.
Okay, right? It's a deal.
Yeah, we won't get involved in it, but we'll give you some advice if we can, and we'll see where that goes. Next question, Jonathan has asked, where do you like to go on holiday, Nicole?
Anywhere there's peace and quiet and a beach. Should I do my top 5 places I like?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. So the Maldives
is 1 or is that 5th?
Oh, we're going top down. I'm going because I'm going number 1.
All right.
Number 1, the Maldives. Number 2, I loved Vietnam.
That is beautiful.
Amazing country, so diverse. Really, really loved that. Number 3 probably has got to be Dubai, though. I find it's too commercial for me now, but I do still really.
I think we go to
love
Dubai a lot because the weather's always going to be.
But
all right,
I liked it probably years ago more than I do now. But yeah, obviously it's always a winner, and you can guarantee the weather. I love Italy. So
is Italy 4 then?
So 4 for Italy, and where's going to be my number 5? Bali. We enjoyed Bali, didn't we?
Yeah, I liked Bali.
Yeah.
So she's put Italy as 4, but we bought a place in Mallorca. We could have bought in Italy, but it makes no sense whatsoever.
No, I like Mallorca, I do. But you're saying
I feel
about
like I'm moving.
Yeah, well, I did say we might. I did say we might try other places. I do, and Italy is a beautiful country. It is a beautiful country, and to be fair, they're going to need a bit of help. So maybe.
What you're saying is you're going to nick something.
I didn't say that.
You want to start nicking? I think we need to be looking at Greece and Cyprus.
No, but I love Greece as well.
It's too far.
But no, Italy, I do love because it's got culture. It's also got beautiful beaches. Do you know what I mean? It's got a bit of everything. I do really. And then obviously you've got nice vineyards there as well. No, I think it's a winner. Italy could be our next holiday home.
Our next holiday home. We're going to keep this one. We're selling one and buying another. We're having 2. One for you and one for me.
Well, it depends if you annoy me, yeah. You can't be left by yourself for too long.
No. Do you know what? For the first time since we've been married this year, when Nicole was away filming, was the first time we've been away separately, Nicole, right?
Yeah.
In all those years. We're not a couple that go on holiday separate, are we?
No.
It's not really our thing.
No, and I think, on the whole, obviously no one's perfect, but on the whole, we actually quite enjoy each other. Definitely not. We do actually enjoy each other's company, even though you annoy me quite a lot.
You enjoy my company.
Not always. I just
have to use you to organise, as you said earlier. Organise me. Okay. So
you can't even pack a suitcase.
No, she packs my suitcases when we go away. You do everything for me, don't you? Really?
Oh God.
You do.
I know. What
are
am
you
I stupid?
I know she works, looks after me.
I know. I'm like Wonder Woman.
Packs me suitcases. Tell me where I'm going. I'm not allowed to book hotels.
Yeah, do you know why? Talking about Italy, this is why. Oh no, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was Sicily.
So, which is fabulous. And we still have not been to Sicily, and I really want to go.
Yeah.
I really, really want to go to Sicily. Always have wanted to. Anyway, Joe booked for us to go there, but Annie booked the hotel. This is the last time he was allowed to book a trip. When I then looked, Joe had not factored in that there are 2 airports in Sicily.
I thought it was a small island.
He thought it was a little tiny island. It's actually quite large. And the hotel was 6.5 hours away from the airport. Hence, I changed it and we went to actually
the other part
Sardinia we went to.
Yeah, it was beautiful there.
Yeah, and I've still got the handbag you bought me.
Yeah, I bought you an handbag now.
Yeah, it was a beautiful handbag.
It's a nice handbag, that.
It's a leather with soft stones on it. It's never lost a stone. It was like a
yeah, you're not,
handbag.
Nicole's not actually, you're going to go back to a handbag person, are you?
I'm a shoe girl.
Your shoes, aren't you? She
shoes.
loves a pair of shoes. High heels is her thing.
Yeah, I love shoes.
She doesn't, I bought you a pair of trainers at Christmas first, but it's got to be...
It's only because my feet are getting a bit sore now. I'm getting a bit older.
I
don't think it is.
Big fat bunion.
It's not a big fat
really
bunion.
Unattractive. I have to look at that.
It's
Rub my bunion.
Don't do that.
Bunion.
You sound like my mum.
Yeah,
but no, I'm not actually that materialistic, am I?
Nah, you ain't bothered by stuff, are you?
No.
You don't ask for anything really, do you? No, you don't. You're not that person. You're not like, I want...
No, I mean I'm lucky enough to be able to have nice things. So people go, yeah, but you drive a nice car. But you know what?
Your car. You like your car.
Yeah, I like cars. But
what car are you currently driving?
I bought myself a new Bentley called Continental, which I am a little bit in love with.
She did, yeah.
I am a little bit, but I'd had my car before that for 4 years.
What was that car?
A Rari.
A Ferrari,
which I did.
But
love.
you've had times where you've had some right shit.
I've driven vans. When I first started out in business, I used to go and pick up. It sounds really dodgy, this, but I used to go and pick up because they pay cash. So I used to turn up in one of the yards where I used to go and pick up my money.
Gypsy yard.
I don't know, it wasn't. And this is how stupid, because I was a young girl and I had this. I can't even think what it was, but it was a horrible brown colour, and I'd lost the petrol cap, and I can remember driving into the yard, and a few of the boys were like, are you going to buy, you're earning good money, you're going to buy yourself a new car. And then one of them went, you do realise if you carry on driving like that, I'd put a rag in the petrol cap, because the cap, he said, you're going to catch fire. Someone's going to throw a fag out the window and you're going to catch fire. But yeah, so it was never, you can't live in your car, can you?
No.
So at that point, my focus was to, have, a nice home and stuff like that. And I actually was quite handy around the house, actually. So all the painting, I'd sanded the floors. Now I do like to get someone to come and do it for me. But in the early days, I did do all that. And I'm quite...
do get stuck in. You'll get stuck in now if you have to.
Yeah, like if we're in the offices and we decide we're going to, people working, and then and I'm like, right, okay, because I'm a bit impulsive, we're going to move the offices around. I'm in there and I'm picking up tables. So, and I have done pretty much all the jobs within the people that work for me. So, listen, I quite enjoy it. I like to get stuck in sometimes. But you know what? If I can get someone to do it for me nowadays, yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, but so material stuff, the really things you really want, shoes, and you like to buy a car, don't you? But you keep it for a period of time and you buy it, to be honest, don't you? It's not like you ask one.
Yeah.
So, it's her money and she could, money, she can do what she wants.
Yeah, I make no apologies because I've worked for it,
Yeah, it wasn't given to you, was it?
But at the end of the day, like even with the kids, we've, like you say, the oldest one's just buying, but we've got her to save up, and then we've helped her. But she didn't know we were going to help her, did she?
Everyone needs help, Nicole. Buying her first property.
But what I'm saying is we didn't say we were going to help,
no,
did we?
She didn't know.
So wanted to, we bought them all a car each.
Yeah.
Well, even though the youngest one still can't bloody drive it, but,
Thick as shit.
No, he's not. He just don't bother revising.
7 times he's failed his theory.
It's not 7, it's 5.
Right, 9.
God, it's not 9.
Oh, my God.
But
I
you know what,
heard the other day that someone's failed 70 times. I'm thinking, that's him.
You know what? He
don't revise.
Who reminds me of a little bit?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that.
So
I'm like that. I passed my theory second time, just so people know.
Yeah,
Passed my driving test first time.
Yeah.
Never had a crash.
I only had 5 lessons.
Be honest, am I the best parker out of a car in the world?
You're not bad.
Fuck off, Nicole. I can get in a space about an inch either end.
You're not bad, I've got to be honest. You're good at parking. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure I would have passed the theory either. I'm pretty sure that the driving instructor, I think I had a short skirt on, and I made a little joke about the questions, because then you answer the questions before you did the test, or was it after? And I think there was 3 questions, and I'm sure I didn't know the answers, so I made a little joke and giggled, and I passed.
Yeah. So, as a husband to the housewife, she's really easy to be with. She's not.
Except for when I got PMC.
You're a fucking nightmare. Her eyes change colour. She's aggressive.
Only for a day.
Oh, I feel like I could be stabbed. No, if I ever disappear, it's happened. It's going to happen then. She is horrible. You can't get through to her.
But I know
nothing makes sense. Her head's off the wall. She's paranoid.
It's only one day a month.
It can be up to 3, and it carries on. Last time it was a week.
But I'm a good wife. Let's go back to me being a good wife.
No, you're great.
Come
you
on.
don't ask for a lot. You're easygoing to a point. You don't expect anything from anyone. She's great. If she weren't, and when I come on here and she's been...
You were going to say the C word. I can see it in your face.
I was going to say the C word.
Just see it. No, that's when you know you've been with someone too long.
I say that anyway. I'm from, where I'm from. My language is bad, and it is what it is.
You're trying to be better, aren't you?
No.
Because you're not allowed to swear now.
No, I'm not. I can swear on it. It's a podcast. I do it.
Oh, you're allowed to.
Yeah, you can swear.
Yeah, but it's still not that bad,
Children shouldn't listen to it. Should be in bed, children. Unless you're going to get my listens up, and then I'm all over that.
Your listeners?
Yeah, listeners.
Is that a thing?
Get my ears up. Yeah.
Get your ears up. Is that
but she's a good wife, and she's really easy to be with, and she doesn't ask for a lot. So David's asked us, why did you do the Housewives?
Because Joe made me. They'd asked me.
You spoke about this before, so you're all right.
So they'd had asked me from series 4 actually, and I was like adamant that I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually think of anything worse than doing TV. Up until last year, there was hardly any pictures of me because I didn't even have a photo taken. So super out my comfort zone. But yeah, basically when we're looking at buying Mac, it kind of came around at the same time, and Joe had just said to me, so I got another phone call because they kind of rang me every season, and it was just a bit of a chat. Anyway, I went to meet and have a sit down, and actually the process is pretty long.
Yeah,
you'd
be surprised.
You'd be surprised. So many people say they've been asked. It's not really the case. They may have spoken to them, but the process is very, very tough.
When they chose you, they met 6,000 people. Something
I think they
like
speak to every year about that many. But anyway, I'm the special one, not Jose Mourinho. So it's Joe's fault basically that I've done it. And then we didn't end up buying Mac. The deal fell through, and then I'm on a TV show. I was like,
you've enjoyed it, haven't you?
Do you know what?
It's been a great experience.
Yeah, do you know what? I think everything in life is put in front of you for a reason.
Yeah.
I didn't set out to work on the railway, but I did. So again, that could be another tip. If something keeps presenting itself in your path, potentially you go try it. I don't know what don't hold me to it, because it might not be a good thing. But for me, if something does keep cropping up, maybe it's something you're supposed to try. So you know what, it's really opened my eyes to sort of something else. And when you get to my age, it's good to, I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I think I don't feel like there's a lot left out there that I haven't experienced.
Have you done porn? I've not seen
every night, Joe.
I've not seen that. I've not seen that video. Is that out there? Is there?
No, it's not. I'm not that stupid.
If any of our children listen to this, don't.
So yeah, basically, I think that. I've bungee jumped. I've done. I've had a lot of experiences.
I've done none of that stuff.
Yeah, Joe, you're not as adventurous as I am. But I have, and say I was lucky enough to travel when I was young. I have done divorced, married. I've
only been married once.
So it was really nice to do something different. And yeah, do you know what? I think anything you do in life, try and take out the positive experience you've got from it. And there's been some positives.
Is this a positive, this podcast?
I'll let you know. If
have
it
you enjoyed
fails,
doing
it's
this?
your fault. I've actually, it's just
talk about yourself, you love it, innit?
Yeah, no.
So you're basically saying you did enjoy filming. You've enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, I found it really tough the first few, because obviously I'm not an actress.
And the other thing I think
my
people
dad
don't
used
see-
to say I was an actress, so maybe I am deep down.
The only thing I think people don't, it's actually harder work than you think. People think you're filming long hours, aren't you?
And I am pretty busy.
And she's also busy.
And I'm kind of a girl that does give 110% whatever I do.
She does, you commit.
And that's another tip. If you're going to do something,
fucking do it hard.
Yeah, go hard or go home.
It's true though. It will fail if you don't.
Yeah, no, you have to live, eat, breathe, whatever you try and do. Life's
there's not many businesses that, if you're going back to that can be part time, maybe an eBay one, maybe or something products, but you still need to review your products.
Yeah.
So I think that what do you want to leave your listeners with after the first episode here, Nicole? What give us a tip.
Tune in next week.
Tune in next week. That's your tip.
To find out what I really think about Joe Sealey. No.
So next week we're going to get a guest in. Who that'll be, I'm not sure. There's a bit of a list.
Is it who you can blag off me?
I don't know if it's one of your people, Nicole, but I don't know if I want your people.
What, my people?
Yeah, your people. I don't want people on your side of the fence.
We share people.
I like to keep people on my side of the fence.
What, so they can big you up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably have a practice run through when you're not there with them.
Like a fluffer.
Ugh. No.
What's that?
It's the person that wakes people up before porn.
I thought it was someone who got ready for a scene.
No.
Oh.
It's the person that gets them excited before the camera.
How do
I'm
you
sure.
know that?
Everyone knows that. I'm sure that's a job. We'll have to Google that. Someone Google that and find out. Tell me if that is what a fluffer does. I'm sure that's what a job is.
No, so
I've always thought a fluffer would be, if that's their job, really ugly because they can't be on the camera. That's what I've always thought.
That's a bit mean.
Or if I'm in porn, right, and I've got to wank people off, right, and I can't be on the camera,
how has it got
I've got
to
to be
this?
ugly. No, I've got to be.
You're shambles.
I've got to be. No, I've got to be. I don't know anyone that's done that job, but I'm sure it's a job.
No, but maybe it's like one of them,
There's a job for everyone.
They like it, but they don't want to be on the camera, so it's like a
like a pervert.
Like a voyeurism.
No, because they're getting involved. Voyeurism is when you're watching.
When you watch it. Do you remember that place where we used to live, where they used to drive past?
I never did any of that.
No, but there's a place near the forest where you beat the
car.
cars.
Dogging.
What's that thing? Dogging, yeah.
That's who got caught there? Was it Phil Mitchell? No, it wasn't. Someone got caught, didn't they?
That wasn't far from us, was it?
No, they all used to park in his car park in Epping Forest and look through the windows and that, didn't they? If you leave your light on, you can watch and open the door, someone can join in or something.
That's a whole different episode of this show, I think. Yeah. But I've enjoyed it. Thank you. I was going to say thank you for having me, but at the end of the day, I'm the sidekick, and
Well, you're co-presenter, aren't you, really? I only muck about, but you're co-presenter, and you're probably the reason people listen to start with, and then they're going to
Love you.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, full of banter.
Joe's like, like one of those little puppy that likes treats, praise me, love me.
Well, I don't get enough love at home, so, you know.
You just said I'm an amazing wife.
You are.
Okay.
You are.
Well, thank you from me. You carry on.
So, my name's Joe Sealey and I'm the husband.
And I'm Nicole Sealey, the perfect wife.
She's ruined it. My name's Joe Sealey, I'm the husband.
And I'm Nicole Sealey, the wife.
Fucking, it's called an housewife and a husband. It ain't hard. Husband and an housewife.
I don't know what you're trying to do. You have to prep me. See all of
Yeah,
the
because
preparation.
you're unprepared.
No, you're just rubbish. You're just a rubbish teacher.
My name's Joe Sealey and I'm a husband.
And I'm Nicole Sealey, a housewife.
Perfect. Well, hopefully we'll see you next week. In a few weeks, we'll probably be going to be recording this on YouTube as well. So listen in because we need your support and send us your products. I'm going to put something on my Instagram and Nicole will about where to send it. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
The story of somebody's life, journey, a moment in time, or it could mean nothing without